Worse than a recession, restaurants and the retirement crisis. If you think a recession is bad, wait until you hear about the perfect storm brewing in our economy. From struggling restaurants to a looming retirement crisis, this video will open your eyes to what's really happening and how it could affect you. We'll dive deep into the data, expert opinions, and potential solutions to this complex economic challenge. Hey there, economic enthusiasts and concerned citizens. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's more concerning than your favorite restaurant running out of avocado toast. We're talking about why what's coming might be even worse than a recession, starting with the restaurant industry and spiraling into a full-blown retirement crisis. So grab your favorite stress ball, take a deep breath, and let's get into it. Now, before we start painting this not-so-rosy picture, let's look at some hard facts. According to the National Restaurant Association, the restaurant industry lost a staggering $240 billion in sales during 2020 due to the pandemic. That's a lot of uneaten burgers and fries, folks. But here's the kicker. Even as we're recovering, the industry is still facing major challenges. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that as of April 2023, employment in food services and drinking places is still about 3% below its pre-pandemic peak. This slow recovery is a clear indicator of the ongoing struggles in the industry. To put this into perspective, let's break down what this means for the average restaurant. A study by Ohio State University found that 60% of restaurants don't make it past their first year, and 80% go out of business within 5 years. Now, add a pandemic and economic uncertainty to the mix, and you've got a recipe for disaster. You might be thinking, so what? I can still get my latte every morning. But hear me out, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's start with restaurants. They're often called the canaries in the coal mine for the economy. Why? Because when people start tightening their belts, eating out is often the first luxury to go. And right now, those canaries are singing a pretty gloomy tune. A recent survey by the National Restaurant Association found that 50% of restaurant operators believe it will be more than a year before business conditions return to normal. Moreover, 88% of restaurants are experiencing higher food costs, and 86% have lower profit margins than pre-pandemic levels. But it's not just about missing out on your favorite pizza joint. Restaurants employ about 10% of the U.S. workforce. That's roughly 15.3 million people as of 2023. If they continue to struggle, we're looking at a significant impact on employment. And we all know what happened the last time unemployment skyrocketed, right? To illustrate this point, let's look at the ripple effects. When restaurants struggle, it's not just the servers and chefs who are affected, it's also the farmers who supply the produce, the delivery drivers who transport the goods, and the equipment manufacturers who provide the kitchen appliances. The National Restaurant Association estimates that every dollar spent in restaurants generates an additional $2 in sales for other industries. Now let's connect the dots. High unemployment often leads to reduced consumer spending, which can trigger a recession. But here's where it gets really scary. We're facing this potential recession at the same time as a looming retirement crisis. According to the National Institute on Retirement Security, about 40% of older Americans rely only on Social Security for their retirement income. The average Social Security benefit? Just $1,827 per month in 2023. Try living on that in most U.S. cities. To put this into perspective, let's break down what $1,827 a month looks like. Average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the U.S., $1,098. Average monthly grocery bill for one person, $387. Average monthly healthcare costs for a 65-year-old, $411. That leaves exactly negative $69 for everything else. Utilities, transportation, clothing, and any form of entertainment are completely out of reach. And remember, this is the average benefit. Many retirees receive even less. But wait, there's more. And trust me, you won't want to supersize this. The Federal Reserve's 2022 Survey of Consumer Finances reports that the median retirement savings for all working-age families is just $87,000. That might sound like a lot, but spread it over 30 years of retirement, and it's barely enough for a couple of years of basic expenses. Let's break this down further. Financial experts often recommend the 4% rule for retirement withdrawals. This means you can withdraw 4% of your savings each year with a good chance of not running out of money. So, with $87,000 in savings, you're looking at an annual income of just $3,480 from your retirement account. That's less than $300 a month. So we've got a potential recession brewing, starting with one of our largest employment sectors, and it's coinciding with a retirement crisis where millions of Americans are woefully underprepared for their golden years. It's like a financial perfect storm. But why is this potentially worse than a regular recession? Well, in a typical recession, we usually have strong systems in place to help people bounce back. But with an aging population and a stressed Social Security system, our safety nets are wearing thin. The Social Security Administration projects that by 2034, the trust funds that support Social Security will be depleted. While this doesn't mean Social Security will disappear entirely, it does mean that benefits could be reduced by about 22% if no changes are made to the system. The Employee Benefit Research Institute estimates that Americans have a combined retirement savings gap of $3.68 trillion. That's trillion with a T. And unlike a regular recession, which we typically recover from in a few years, a retirement crisis could last for decades. The Center for Retirement Research at Boston College projects that about half of working-age households are at risk of not having enough to maintain their living standards in retirement. This risk is even higher for lower-income households and those without access to employer-sponsored retirement plans. Let's dive deeper into why this retirement crisis is so severe. 1. Increasing life expectancy. Americans are living longer than ever before. While this is generally good news, it also means our retirement savings need to last longer. The Social Security Administration reports that a man reaching age 65 today can expect to live, on average, until 84.1, while a woman can expect to live until 86.6. 2. Decline of pension plans. In the past, many workers could rely on defined benefit pension plans from their employers. Today, only about 15% of private sector workers have access to such plans. The shift to 401(k) and other defined contribution plans has put more responsibility on individuals to save for retirement. 3. Rising healthcare costs. Healthcare expenses are a major concern for retirees. Fidelity estimates that the average couple retiring at 65 in 2023 will need about $315,000 saved after tax to cover healthcare expenses in retirement. 4. Inadequate savings rates. Many Americans simply aren't saving enough. A survey by Bankrate found that 20% of Americans aren't saving anything for retirement, and another 20% are saving less than 5% of their income. Now, I know this all sounds pretty doom and gloom, but remember, knowledge is power. By understanding these trends, we can start preparing and maybe even work towards solutions. So, what can we do? On a personal level, it's more important than ever to save for retirement, even if it means starting small. Every little bit helps. Financial advisors often recommend saving at least 15% of your income for retirement, including any employer contributions. And that's our sobering economic update for today. I hope this information helps you understand the complex challenges we're facing and inspires you to take action, whether it's boosting your savings or supporting your local businesses. Remember, while these issues may seem overwhelming, every small step we take can make a difference. Before I go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening economic insights. If you found this information helpful, consider sharing it with friends and family. The more people who are aware and prepared, the better off we'll all be. And hey, why not leave a comment telling us about your favorite local restaurant? Let's spread some love to these vital businesses in our communities. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully with some better news. Until then, stay informed, stay prepared, and stay savvy, my friends.